Okay, I'm trying to finish up weather here. Last week we talked about weather. This is what's the weather? And it has a table of contents on it that I want you, if I wanted to just pick certain things, like I just wanted to read about the wind, I could go to page 10, but I think we're going to read it from the beginning to the end. And so if we start at the beginning, it says it's cloudy, and that starts on page 4. What's the weather today? It's cloudy, and we talked about the different kinds of clouds that there are. There are clouds in the sky. Gray clouds mean it's going to rain. Where does rain come from? Rain falls from clouds. Clouds are made from tiny water droplets. And here we have the water cycle. I know that I had you listen to that song about the water cycle last week. And right now, this is the water cycle. It starts here with collection. You can see the collection is in the ocean, and there's rivers and lakes that is collected in. And then what happens is the sun comes out, and when the sun comes out, it causes evaporation, and then as it rises to the clouds, it causes condensation. Condensation is where it cools, and when it cools, I don't know if you remember the experiment that we did earlier this year where we had evaporation that I showed you when we talked about solid, liquid, and gas, and how after evaporation, when I cooled the top of the pot and I shook it, there was water on it, how the evaporation had turned back to water. So that's what happens up in the clouds. The condensation cools, it makes water droplets, and when the water droplets get too heavy, they fall back down to earth again. Back down to the ground it can be snow, it can be sleet, it can be rain, depending on what the temperature is. And then the whole cycle starts over again. We have collection, we have the sun come out, we have evaporation, it cools, we have condensation. After condensation, the rain droplets get too heavy, and we have rain. So that is the water cycle that we've talked about. So what's the weather today? The weather is snowy, and we know the magic temperature we talked about earlier this year of when we can have sleet or snow, and it is, you're right, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Millions of tiny snowflakes fall from the sky. They settle on the ground. Snow is white and cold and crunchy. What are snowflakes? Snowflakes are made of ice. Every snowflake is a different shape, and they fall from very cold clouds. And every snowflake has 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are all different. What's the weather today? The weather today is windy. Wind blows leaves off trees. It helps laundry dry, and it makes kites fly high. Where does wind come from? The sun warms the air, and the air rises up, and then cool air sinks, and as it sinks, it creates wind. So the warm air rises, the cold air sinks, and that's how we get wind. What's the weather today? It's stormy. This would be a thundercloud. Storm bring lots of rain and snow and hail, and the wind blows hard. Some storms bring thunder and lightning. What are thunder and lightning? Lightning is a bright flash of electricity in the clouds. Lightning is hot, and it makes the air expand. And when the air cools and shrinks, it makes a rumbling sound called thunder. These animals are finding shelter from the storm. You think you should be outside during a thunderstorm? No, it's very important that you be inside where it's safe, especially away from water or trees or anything. You want to be safe. What's the weather like today? It is sunny. Sunny lights up the sky and the ground. It helps plants to grow, and it keeps us warm. How does the sun make rainbows? Well, sunlight shines through the mist, and tiny water droplets in the air break the sunlight up into different colors. This is a rainbow, and a rainbow has a very important pattern to it. It's called Roy G. Biv, and it stands for R is for red, O is for orange, Y is for yellow, G is for green, B is for blue, I is for indigo, and V is for violet. So I'm going to have you listen to a YouTube song about Roy G. Biv. It's a fun song. So that's the end of the weather that we've talked about right now. What I plan on doing is I'm going to email your parents some fun projects for you to do at home, having to do with a rainbow and Roy G. Biv. And also, I'm going to try to set up a YouTube page. I'm hoping this works right now. We're going to try to put this on YouTube for everybody, so I'll have to let you know how it all works out. Okay, I wanted to say, see you tomorrow. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, bye.